Bro, I'm reaching out to the African community. Why don't y'all like us? Because when I be at work and I be trying to talk to the African people, it always seems like they be like looking at me funny or side-eyeing me. And at first I was thinking maybe they just don't understand me that well. Maybe they're not well acquainted with the way we speak or something. I don't know. But somebody brought it to my attention that they just don't like African American people. And I didn't believe it at first. But then I started noticing certain little things. One of my coworkers was like, if you notice, they always cool with the white people. They love white people. I'm like, no, I don't think it's that. Like, there's no way they like white people more than they like us. That don't even make sense. I'll never forget. I was walking down this long pathway at my job. It's like a long pathway. And I see somebody just running this way like super, super fast. And it was an African. And I'm sitting there watching this, and she's a beautiful African lady, like super beautiful. Like, but she running this way. I'm looking like, what's she running from? It's a white dude behind her chasing her, and they both just laughing and giggling. I'm like, ain't that the same girl I was just trying to talk to yesterday, and she act like she couldn't understand nothing I was saying? How she having so much fun talking to this white man, but she can't be cool with me? Like, that's insane. Like, why don't y'all like us? Like, what is it that y'all don't like about us? I thought we was cool.
Why don't Africans like black people? Let me just go ahead and say, and let me be the one to say, it's not that Africans don't like black people. It's the other way around, sadly. Black people don't like Africans. And what do I mean by that, you ask? Because when making fun of Africans was a thing not too long ago, y'all had everything in the world to say about us. Y'all called us all types of names. We were called African booty scratchers. We were told that we climb trees. We sleep with lions and tigers. We walk barefooted. We don't have no shoes. We live in huts. We eat goat. Although we do eat goat. So all these stereotypes, so on, all these very different varieties of stereotypes that made us so uncomfortable that we started to hate ourselves. And it's so crazy because we were never spoken to like that by the white man. They never made us feel less than ourselves. I could never just understand the hatred because we're literally the same color. You're no better than me and we bleed the same. And then they say, I'm not African, I'm Black American. You be your own kind. Then you call them African American and they hate it. They don't want to be associated with Africans. So they say, I'm American or I'm Cherokee. They made it seem like being African was a crime. It was just recently that the Americans started showing love to Africans. And that's just because the celebrities started showing love first. So you know what that means. Everybody hopped on the bandwagon. It started from wearing dashikis to listen to African music to now eating African food. We're finally accepted in y'all eyes. So Africans never hated Black Americans. It was always Black Americans that hated Africans.
Hello my beautiful people, I hope you're well and welcome to my channel. So there is this conversation that has been going on for a while on the internet, the tension between Africans and African Americans in the US. So some say African Americans are more hostile to Africans than even white people, while others argue it's Africans who distance themselves and look down on African Americans. So it's a bit emotional, complex, and deeply rooted in history, trauma, and misunderstanding. But instead of pointing fingers, today I want us to reflect, listen, and maybe understand where these feelings come from on both sides. If you're new here, kindly subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any update from my videos. Let's dive into it.
So let me get this straight. Y'all think because we call ourselves African American that we're not our own group? See, this is the problem. African Americans are definitely their own group, yes. Black Americans, same thing. It's the same thing. I don't care if y'all want to drop the African because you feel like Africans don't accept you, like that matters with DNA and all this other stuff. It's not true for all Africans anyways. Your ancestors are the same as those Africans' ancestors, okay? All right? Our mothers and fathers the same. That's why they are cousins, okay? So a lot of people and people that speak like this, like you, y'all think that by saying someone is African American, we don't have a culture. African American is a whole culture, baby. And all that stuff about, oh, we can't be two continents. We know what African American is, okay? And when we're speaking about language and what the people understand, we know that when we say African American, we understand that to be people who are of African descent. So their ancestors are from Africa, from modern Africans, right? And we were born in America from those ancestors. And then generation after generation after generation, we're here, okay? So, but our ancestors, that where we came from, are the enslaved Africans that were brought here to America. That just is what it is, okay? So within that, we have our own culture. It is beautiful, actually. African American culture is beautiful because it is a culture that shows rebellion against those who tried to oppress us, and it shows victory, that we won against our oppressor. Yes, we still have a fight to go, but if we didn't win as far as preserving who we are, and as far as becoming our own people, and as far as thriving with the situation and with the cards that we were dealt with, we wouldn't be here right now. Okay? So when you guys try to exclude your African heritage, you are really spitting in your ancestors' face. You're doing yourself a disservice, and you're not to be honored. Like, I don't find that respectable. I don't find it honorable. Okay, so yes, we have our own culture, and just because we identify with, our heritage, or our ancestors, doesn't mean that we somehow don't have our own culture. Our culture is made up of African and American. Okay, a lot of the things that we do, a lot of the things that we say, a lot of the things that we practice, that is passed down generation after generation after generation, has African roots. Why? Because we are of African descent. And it also has American roots. Why? Because we were born here in America, generation after generation after generation. That is African American. People want to pretend or be sarcastic or act like they don't know what the difference between being a continental African, somebody born in Africa, and being African American, somebody who is of African descent but born right here in America. Yes, there are huge differences, and there are also huge similarities. And yes, we are connected. Okay?
I don't understand why Africans hate their own people. Like, just because we live in a different country doesn't make us any different than y'all. I mean, sure, our culture is different, but genetically, we're literally the same. And you want to know what's crazy? African people copy American culture, and Black people want more of their culture. Like, really? We're literally going in separate directions, and that's what's dividing us. This stupid ignorance on both sides needs to stop. Like, it's honestly so dumb. I can't even believe I'm ranting about it on TikTok right now. Just love everyone. Understand both sides. It's that easy.
So a lot of my African American friends asking me, like, why is it that Africans hate African Americans so much? Why is it that Africans always feel like they're better than African Americans? That is not true. African does not hate African American, right? African love African Americans. Where we was back home, we look up to African Americans like our role model, right? Some of them call themselves 50 Cent, Ja Rule. Some of them call themselves Jay-Z. Some of them call themselves Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, and Rihanna. Some of them really call themselves that. Until we came to America, the thing went left. Okay, I'll tell you how it went left. If you know you're African American, you know what I'm talking about. Don't act like you slow. Don't act like you don't know what I'm actually talking about. When we was in high school, you remember, you people usually call us African booty scratcher. What the heck is African booty scratcher? I don't understand that. Somebody need to come explain that to me. What the heck is African booty scratcher? King Kunta Kinte, Shaka Zulu, Chase the Lion. You people started doing this language with your tongue, like, that's how we speak. Started making fun of us like all the time. Started bullying us. You people use that thing like sports all the time in high school, right? You use that thing like sport to mock us all the time. All right. And then there's this song that they usually play when white people go to Africa to go help some of those kids with a big stomach. There's this music they always play on the background. You people will use your cell phone and play that music on the background and then take a quarter and throw it at some of the African kids and started making fun of them like, oh, take that quarter and go feed your siblings back home. Those are the things I usually say, right? And then some of the girls will be laughing, making jokes. And then sometimes some of them even come behind your back when you're walking in the hallway and slap you and push you. Those are the things that somebody usually do. Then for our parents that actually have jobs, that are working at a nursing home, hospital, or any other facility, they got bullied by some of your parents as well. Those are the things. So at the end of the day, you feel like, oh, a lot of Africans going to want to initiate themselves on that. No, they might not want to. Okay, they're not going to want to argue with you. They're going to want to fight with you because at the end of the day, you already show them that hate, that you don't like them. So many people even say they stink. I'm making fun of them. At the end of the day, they're going to stay away from you, right? And then this is a thing too. If you feel like this is a problem, right? Why you think the Caribbeans, right? Like Jamaicans, St. Lucia and Trinidad and Haitian. Why you think they get along with Africans so well? Okay, even with some Latinos, some Spanish people, they get along with some Africans really well than you, African American. Don't you think there's a problem right there? You think that, yeah, of course there's a problem. Why you think they get along with those people? You never see an African fight with a Caribbean. You never. Because they see themselves as one. They work together as a team. But the problem came from you people. So that's the reason why you see a lot of like Africans just stay away. They're not going to argue with you. Because at the end of the day, Africans will have so much to lose. But you don't. Okay? You don't have anything to lose, but they do. So at the end of the day, the energy that they're supposed to, that you people want to fight them, they're not going to fight you. They're not going to use that energy to fight you. They better use that energy and do something creative for themselves and be better for themselves than using that energy to fight you. And then again, for some of the parents, the reason why they don't want to, it's not like they cannot fight you, they can. The only reason they don't want to involve themselves with that stuff is because they have better things to do. And then again, they don't like arguing with you because you people don't like confrontation. I know you people don't know how to sit down and talk as somebody. All you people just want to do is you want to fight. You're ready to fight. You're ready to get aggressive over something that it doesn't make any sense. You can have normal conversation or normal agreement, like disagreement with each other. You always want to fight them or want to go crazy on them for some reason. That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why. It's not like they hate you. They don't hate you. They love you people. It's that you people don't know how to. No. You don't know how to talk to people. You don't know how to confront people. You're always ready to fight and be aggressive. So at the end of the day, that's the reason why. It's not like they hate you. But is it like if you want to learn from them, you want to talk to them, are you willing to learn? Yes, fine. They will teach you a lot of things. It's not like if you want to talk to them, we'll talk to you. We'll show you a lot of things. We don't hate you. We love you people so much, but you people just have your own ways. That's the reason why you have to choose to stay away. Okay? We don't hate none of you people. That's the thing. So stop saying that we hate you. No, we don't hate you. We don't feel like we're on the competition. We don't compete with nobody. We just ourselves. We just choose to stay our way and respect everybody. If you don't like you, will you go on, like, for example, will you hang out with somebody that the person don't like you? I bet you will not, right? You just have to keep your distance. All right? Just keeping it real.
Actually, one more thing I need to throw in here. If you're a Black American and you be saying that like Africans aren't supposed to celebrate this type of thing, or if you are a part of the divisive culture between like Blacks and Africans, you're a part of the problem. People be sitting in my face telling me that I shouldn't identify as Black. Mind you, we went to the same middle, high, and elementary. We grew up in the same neighborhood listening to the same things. My household, of course, was different than yours, but your outside experience was practically the same as my outside experience. We just got different parents. I grew up in two separate worlds. I went home, they speak in Yoruba. I'm on the streets, niggas speaking Ebonics. Like, and I don't think anyone will ever really grasp that. So for you to tell me I'm not Black is like me telling you you're not African. It's stupid. Stop doing that.
Some Nigerians, they do sometimes, Africans in general, some of them do think they're better than African Americans, which is bullshit.
Right.
Because it's not the truth, because Africans are treated like shit in Africa. Colonization.
Yeah.
England, France, that's why you speak in French, not because you special.
Yeah.
Because they came and sat on your shit and said, you going to speak what the fuck we speak.
Right.
The Dutch, all of them, Italian, all of those European countries came and colonized you, treated you like shit. I mean, you go to South Africa, white people are calling themselves Africans and they don't even look it. That's some gangster shit, don't you think? Right. I am from South Africa. No, you're not. You're Dutch. You just didn't know when the fuck to leave. You see what I'm saying? It's fucked up. So that should tell you, and what African Americans have gone through, the fucking hell that they've gone through and still go through, how are you coming from that mentality and saying you thinking you better than them? Because you have an accent? Because for some reason, the white society in America tends to, Africa, he has an accent. It's a little different. It's like when you're British, like Idris said, when you have a British accent and you're Black. Hello, I don't know. That's what I'm doing. Ooh, that's why they get to play us. Listen, British Black dudes are playing drug dealers. I thought Idris Elba was from Baltimore. I thought he was. You know, he was like, yo, you motherfuckers don't understand. And then I'm watching BBC. You know, when I did The Wire, I studied the ghetto in Baltimore. You sound like Lord Baltimore, motherfucker. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? And then this Driss guy, there's another Driss.
Yeah.
Snowfall.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this motherfucker's like, yo, cuz. And he's like, you know, I took a, you know. The fuck is this? You know, another because I don't know what it is. Something about this is just my theory. Something about that black American accent. Hey man, fuck they. But hello, oh, and we'll let Idris play that.
Yeah.
But then when he gets back to his normal self, we get to hear James Bond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we don't want to hear that. It's something about that. I don't know. I think it's just a little weird. It's like African Americans go through hell, but everybody copies African Americans.
Right.
Everybody does.
They can deport you to Africa. You're not from the Americas. Unfortunately, you were brought here in chains, and that's messed up to not have a connection to Africa. What do you mean you're not African American? Ooh, this comment right here got me on my feet this morning. Didn't I just tell y'all yesterday that these damn liberals are chasing me down with their whips and their shackles, trying to drag me back into a place of submission? This is what happens when we go around performing victimhood, when we do all of this crying about what the white man did 400 years ago, when we associate all of ourselves with slaves, and we blame every single one of our faults and our flaws on slavery. These people have been given permission to minimize us to nothing more than slaves. First of all, Africa is not a country. Africa is the largest continent on this planet. Secondly, according to Ancestry DNA, my blood is comprised of the entire west coast of that continent of Africa. So pick a country. Pick a country that I would be sent back to. And if you look at the mixture of African regions that my bloodline carries, there's absolutely no way for anyone to pinpoint from whence I came. Why? Because we made our way over here to the Americas generations and generations and generations ago. Long before your ancestors were here in the Americas, my ancestors were here in the Americas. Upon their own volition, they traveled to the Americas. But you, with your deficit mindset, your deficit view of highly melanated people, you cannot imagine that we could travel to this side of the world without a white man putting us in chains, putting us on a boat, and carrying us over here in the most inhumane way possible. That's not everybody's history. There is no slavery in my bloodline, particularly on my mother's side. There is no slavery in our bloodline that I've been able to identify, and we don't even act like slaves. We would have made horrible slaves, awful. We are American. We are foundational Americans. Don't let the highly melanated, beautifully melanated skin, don't let the way that the sun blesses and anoints our skin fool you. Don't let the way that our hair coils fool you. Our roots are here in America, and that's why this land responds to us so well. That's why the sun responds to us so well. That's why we are so resilient here in America, because this is our land. I have no connection to Africa other than the fact that my DNA, just like yours, started in Africa. The only difference is one of ours didn't mutate.
So I know a lot of y'all might come at my neck for this, but have y'all seen the video of the 59-year-old nurse? She is an African nurse who says that she hates African American people. She would not march with us for any cause. She said that she particularly does not like African American women, and that she thinks that she is better than us. And then she also proceeded to say, you stay in your lane and I'm gonna stay in my lane. Well, I feel like for all that, stay in your country. Stay in your country. Like, what are you over here for? If you hate African American people so bad, why won't you stay in Africa? Why did you come over here? Did you come over here because you know there's better opportunities, that you can make a little bit more money, that living conditions might be better? And trust me, I know that Africa is beautiful. I know there are many, many beautiful places in Africa. But what are you here for? What are you here for? And what makes it even worse is that you're a nurse. And I feel like you being a nurse is dangerous. Because if you don't like African American people, how are you going to properly care for an African American person?
At the end of the day, whether African or African American, we are connected by history, by struggle, and by a shared fight for dignity and freedom. The divide we see isn't natural. It's a result of centuries of colonization, slavery, propaganda, and separation. It's time we choose healing over hostility and unity over division, because no one wins when we are fighting each other. Let's lead with love and empathy, not stereotypes or shame. Unity doesn't mean we always agree, but it does mean we start seeing each other as family, and that's a powerful place to begin. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely time.